Hello everyone, welcome back to this course in MagiCAD Ventilation. In this session we will look into ducts, schedules and provisions for void. I will also briefly look into the installation and calculation that we looked at in the previous session for the modification of the dataset, where we had a look at the design data. We can also do that from the same place where we are going to go now, and that is to go up to MagiCAD Common. We can choose Manage Dataset. Sorry, not Manage Dataset, it was Modify Dataset. Like that. If we then choose Duct Series under Ventilation here, we can expand that and press Duct Series. We see all the different ducts that is included in the project. If I want to look closer into one of these ducts, let's say we can choose around this one, DW144, pressure radius band. We can right click on that one and choose dataset properties, and then we see all the properties that is available in this series. We see the size here, duct sizes from 63 millimeters up to 2.4 meters. We can see the material code. Here we have galvanized steel. The roughness in the ducts we see here, and we also see all the products that is included, including bands, joints, plugs, reducers and T-branches. This is from the MagiCAD that is in the standard, so it's not necessary to do any changes here. It is actually possible to add products if we, for instance, don't have the actual duct sizes here. Maybe we have something bigger or something that is not included in the list. But for so long we just press cancel here. It is also possible to add a new one, a new type, if we have a new type that is not included in the duct series that we have. We press new here and we come into this form that has to be filled in with the actual sizes, the type names and all that, and the products that is available. We manage products here by adding ducts, bands, joints, etc. At our project it's not necessary because everything is included here. Normally it should be unnecessary to do any changes to this dataset or this duct series. But the same way we can look at the installation series, and here we can we see that all the installation series that we looked at previously is included here. We can also add or have a closer look into this duct installation. For example, this one. It is available for all ducts up to 10,000 millimeters and rectangular from 10,000 height and width. The size of this one is 100 millimeters. That is at us here. That is the size of the thickness of the insulation. Here we see we have rock wool for material and foil-faced coating. We can also add insulation here if we have another one that would be applicable and not available in the list. We see the same for sizing methods and balancing methods. We can add that, we can have a look at it. If we double click on that one, we see the properties for these sizing methods. And we can add new if we like to do that. In our project it's not necessary because we are well covered with the sizing methods that is in the project. When we have this open, I can just show one more thing that is important for numbering of items. If we go down to variable settings here, we can look at running index and running index formats. We see that for ducts we have fabrication ducts. Double click on that one, we see that we have numbering of fabrication ducts. It will be numbered from a number value from 001 to 10,000. If we have, normally we don't have so many, but it goes from 001 to, for example, 150. 3 digits. That means that 001, 002 is the counting method. It is applicable for fabrication ductwork. So all the ducts will have this running index format. We will come back to that later when we are going to do the numbering of all the items in the project. We can now close this and go back to the dataset, modified dataset, and look at how the bill of materials will be shown in the project. If we go into report templates for bill of materials, we see that ventilation is shown here. Double click on this one and we come into the report template for ventilation products, and we see that in the report is set up like the columns in the report will be this is a schedule that we have columns that is part type, MagiCAD product code, size or length or both. Also number of similar items. If you want to do any changes to this, we can go to edit below here, and if we have other columns we want to have included in the report, we find those in the field under these items over here. There is a lot of items that can be included. We can have voltage, number of phases for electrical, for example, but of course we are into the ventilation, so we can see what is under ventilation. We see that we can have data for mechanical ventilation, supply, extract and supply, ventilation strategy, mechanical flow, total pressure, etc., etc. If we are not doing any changes, just press cancel here, and I will show how we make a report. In this project we don't have so many items, so it would be a rather small or short schedule. just press cancel here and close. To make a bill of material, go to MagiCAD Common, bill of material here. We can choose the range. We take entire project here. The report template will then be ventilation. Let's take all that, yes, deselect and say that we only want ventilation in this report. We then press OK. Okay. So I see that it had changed to Builders Works provisions. Back to ventilation now, entire project, ventilation here. Okay, and we see that we get a bill of material that has all the bands, ducts, and supply air terminals, the different product code, sizes, lengths, and identical number of. This can then be exported to PDF or copy to clipboard, or you can export it to a spreadsheet and open it in Excel or something like that. We can now close that, and the last thing we shall look at here now is the provisions for voids. If we go to modified dataset again, we have separate provisions for Builders Work openings here. If we go to settings, we see all the settings that is applicable. We can just double click in here and we will have that as a form. This form can be changed if we like to have a bigger size for ventilation. For instance, we can increase that to 50. So that is the space around specific duct or channel. So if we want bigger voids for the openings, you can change that here. I don't do any changes, so I go to cancel down here. Okay, that's all before we start to really do the ventilation modeling in the next phase. And then I think we shall start with more or less not completed but started on ventilation that will be available for you. Okay, until next time, thank you very much.